I recently went on the autumnal road trip of my dreams, and I wanted to bring you guys along with me. I flew from Houston, Texas to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to meet up with my friend Anna. She picked me up from the airport and then we went over to her apartment for the night before we began our road trip the very next morning. I also got to meet her cat, whose name is Mouse, and she is the cutest thing ever. On day one of our road trip, we started off at a vegan bakery before driving through the most beautiful trees and leaves. You are going to learn real quick that I was just in awe of this fall foliage. We just do not get a lot of this here in Houston, and it was so cool seeing. But we drove through New Jersey and New York to get to Connecticut. Once in Connecticut, our first stop was New Milford, where we checked out this coffee shop. I had an amazing hot apple cider. We went to all of the little stores, saw so many little Gilmore Girls things, and of course had to check out the iconic gazebo. Our second stop was Washington, Connecticut, which was only about a 15-20 minute drive away. This was also giving Stars Hollow, and we went to this really cute bookstore in which I found a book that I'd been looking for quite a while now. Our last stop of the day before checking into our hotel was in Hartford. We went to Parkville Market. It was this food hall that was so cool to see all of the different food vendors they had. We had some really amazing bowls, and then we were tired from a day in the car, so we went ahead and checked into our hotel near the University of Connecticut. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of our New England road trip. This morning we crossed the border from Connecticut into Rhode Island, where we first stopped at an apple orchard that was in fact closed for the season, most unfortunately, but we were able to go into their shop and I got some yummy apple cider. We, of course, had to visit Providence, Rhode Island. We went to some really cute bookstores and craft stores. It was just so much fun walking around. The weather was amazing. We did see a rabid bat out on the street. We are safe from bat bites, but that was definitely an interesting and memorable moment. Truly, the weather was so gorgeous. It was perfectly chilly for me without it being, freezing. We had lunch at Plant City, in which we also had dinner there later. It was absolutely phenomenal. I had this pasta that was great, and then we got some macarons to eat as we walked around for a little bit. For the ultimate fall foliage, we stopped at this park near the Warwick Lighthouse and we saw the water, we saw the trees with the leaves. We did a lot of walking around and exploring before checking into our hotel. I told you we came back to Plant City. It was just so amazing, and we both had our first espresso martinis, and they were really good. And good morning from our final day of the trip. We got breakfast at Plant City X. I told you we were obsessed. This place was so cool. The breakfast sandwiches were amazing, and this is truly one of the best matchas I have ever had. Our first stop of the day was to Watch Hill, Rhode Island. This was my first time ever being at a truly off-season beach town, which was so cool to see, seeing the ocean, everything. Yes, we did spot Taylor Swift's house from a distance because we are respectful, but it was so cool exploring all of the little shops here that are still open in the off-season. Back in Connecticut, we visited the oldest steam-powered cider mill in the US. We did not have a lot of expectations for this place, but if I can recommend you go to one place out of the entirety of this video, it would be this cider mill. It was so much fun. They had cider and wine tastings. It was just so cool, so fall. I got some honey and I got some Christmas gifts for friends and family. It was just amazing. We had a slight scholarly moment walking around Yale University, and this is the prettiest tree I've ever seen in my life, actually, but it was just so cool seeing all of the architecture on campus. And our final stop on this trip was to the Pez Visitor Center. Super random, but super fun. They had a bunch of Pez memorabilia, and they had a scavenger hunt going on, and all of the history of Pez and how it started out as breath mints and then it became candy later on. It was just so cool and interesting seeing all of the different Pez dispensers they've made over the years. And after a 4-hour drive and a very fun weekend, we made it back to Anna's apartment so we could rest up for a very early morning the next day to get me to the airport to go back to humid Houston. But this trip was truly so much fun. I loved getting to hang out with Anna and see all the cool fall foliage. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a good one.